Morris here. Welcome to this lesson entitled Can't See the Forest for the Trees When Soloing. Oftentimes, when people come to me in private lessons asking for soloing advice, I find that either the student is focused too much on the individual chords and can't zoom out, as it were, or they aren't focused enough. So, this is a tension we have to hold when playing guitar and addressing the changes. We need to be aware of the changes and how notes are changing between the chords. What are the relationships between those notes, as well as how those notes fit into the key itself or the song itself. So, to give you an example, I'm going to pull out some of the changes from my recent monthly lesson membership tune that I went over called Honey Fingers. Honey Fingers is a country jazz instrumental written by the Texas Troubadours featuring Leon Rhodes on guitar. If you're interested in learning more country jazz or Leon Rhodes, please see the information in the description below. You can subscribe to my monthly lesson membership plan or check out the Leon Rhodes course and transcription packs. To just start off, we'll be in the key of G. The first thing that we need to do is know all of the notes in the key of G. So in G, we have G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and G. That's our template, or like I like to say, the pool of notes. From there, we can specify which notes are changing during which chord changes. So in this little section, our chord changes will be C, B, E, A, D, G. The unique chords in this are the B or B7, usually in the key of G, that's a B minor. The E7 or E, that's usually an E minor in the key of G. And then the A or A7, that's an A minor in the key of G. So we're adjusting all of these minor chords. This would be the 2, 3, and 6 to be major or dominant seventh chords. That said, we need to look at what is changing in this. So in the B chord, or B7, we now have B, D sharp, and F sharp. Of those three notes in the triad, the D sharp is the unique note. So we have our D sharp here. Okay? So when we're playing over a B chord or a B7 chord in the key of G, we need to adjust the D up to a D sharp. The next one, the E, we can play the E7 like this, or we want to play like an E9. We clearly have the G sharp as the unique note. So if we're playing in the key of G and we come across an E7 chord, we need to adjust our G up to the G sharp. From there, we have the A. When we're playing the A chord, we have the A, C sharp, and E. So that C sharp is adjusted from a C in the key of G. So again, we're playing in the key of G. All of a sudden, an A7 chord comes up. What happens? The C natural turns to a C sharp. So our unique notes in this particular chord change will be D sharp, D, D sharp to D for the E chord, and then the G sharp is the unique note there. And then the G sharp moves down to a G for the A chord, and then we have a C sharp as a unique note. So to show that here, we have this through line. We're playing the B, our D sharp is unique. That moves down to the D of the E7, and our unique note in the key of E, or the E chord here, is the G sharp. Okay? So we have B or B7, moves down to E7, E7. So we can see how this moves down like so. Okay? Now from there, we have E7 to A7. So we see how we have our E9 here, and we want to move that down to the A or A7. So the D moves down to the C sharp, and the G sharp moves down to the G, again, our through line. And then to the D7, we have our A7 chord here. The C sharp moves down to the C, the G moves down to the D7. So we have A7 to D7, and then C moves down to B, and then F sharp moves up to G. So just on one string, we can see how if we start at C here, we're really just going E, D sharp, D, C sharp, C, B. Okay, that is how we'll move from chord to chord and address the changes. And we can also see a secondary motion down with the C to the B, or the A if we're doing the flat 7 of B. The B goes down to the G sharp. G sharp goes down to the G, the F sharp, G. So that's our through line. Okay. We now know the unique notes for these chords in the key of G, and we can play all of the notes in the key of G, but just adjust for those unique notes when we are at the chord changes. So to start off, I'm going to play what I did in the intro again for you and show you how I'm seeing that line move down to resolve into G, moving through the unique notes. So slowly we have. All right, so I'm starting on my E note. I'm playing an arpeggio off the E for the C chord. And I'm just coming back down. Now I'm in my B territory. I can see how the chord's there underneath my fingers, and I'm going to approach and surround the D sharp. Okay, so I'll do that one more time. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, that's the first part, the C arpeggio. Then I'm going to fall down. The second part there is the approach to the B7 chord. So from there, I'm going to play into my E. So I'll go. So to get into my E, I'm approaching the fifth. I'm going to play above and then approach from below. And then I'm going to just play up the triad, connecting chromatically. I'm visualizing this chord right here. And then playing back to my B here. Okay? That's the second part. Now I'm going to my A. So I'm going to now play. Visualizing my A chord here, chromatically connecting, and then focusing on the unique note. Now I'm going to visualize my D chord here, play this phrase. Again, hitting that unique note, the C there, and then I'm going to resolve it by going. Resolving, and especially moving through that B, so that I can make the change from the C of the D7 chord down to the B, the third of the G chord. So slowly, one more time through this, you can see that through line. And you can also see how the extra notes that I'm grabbing outside of the arpeggios are really just either notes in the key of G, or they're just chromatic approaches or enclosures. And we'll talk about that in a next lesson, and we'll talk about altered tones within this framework in another lesson. So again, we have from the C, this arpeggio, down to the B with the approach, another approach to the E, to the A, chromatically, unique note, to the D, unique note, down to into our G. So hopefully you can take some of these ideas and apply them into your own playing, seeing the big picture, what key we're in, and then how the unique chords in this song relate to that key, and being able to find ways of navigating through the chord changes. Again, if you're interested in learning more like this, or interested in learning about Leon Rhodes and his great playing, please check out my monthly lesson membership series for 2024. We're going through must-know country jazz instrumentals. More information can be found in the description below. Also, consider looking at my Leon Rhodes course as well as transcription pack if you want to get more into the vocabulary of Leon Rhodes. And as always, if you're interested in private lessons via Zoom, FaceTime, or Skype, please just drop me a message on my contacts page or email me. The information again is below. I'll see you in the next lesson. Thank you.